Hello, I'm Meteorologist Jonathan Oh with the weather page and westernpacificweather.com. Hope you're having a good day wherever you are. I'm recording this particular update after midnight on Saturday, Japan Standard Time, as we continue to keep an eye on Typhoon Halola, moving ever so closely to Okinawa and Amami Islands. Here's the latest information that we have so far. It is still a strong typhoon. In terms of its pressure, though, it has weakened just a bit. It has increased the pressure to 965 from 955 hectopascals, so it is getting a bit weaker. Moving to the west-northwest now at 10 kilometers per hour. Packing winds of 126 kilometers per hour, gusting up to 180. So the winds, at least for the estimation, has backed off just a bit. We are seeing winds of 78 miles an hour with gusts up to 112. So this is equivalent to a Category 1 hurricane, nevertheless still packing a bit of a punch. I want to show you the Doppler radar imagery provided by the Japan Meteorological Agency to give you an idea of what it looks like. Of course, it's quite a ways away from the radar signal itself, so it's having a little bit of an issue in being able to see the full picture, but as we progress closer throughout the day Saturday, we'll have a better idea of how the system looks like. But so far, even from what we have so far, you can see the rotation and even the part of the central circulation of the eye as it continues to move toward the west-northwest. And so we'll be keeping a close eye on this. Here's the AVN enhancement view of the IR satellite. Again, still have that tight central core as it continues to move counterclockwise and moving to the west-northwest. It's going to bring quite a bit of wind with this system, along with the waves and the rain. For those of you who may have caught the broadcast that I work on, NHK World, you may be able to have seen some of the waves over in Kagoshima, which is even further north. And there are waves that are coming on shore from that. And so this system is definitely going to be a contender not only from the rain and the wind, but also the waves. So please learn from the lessons of other folks who have tried to take pictures and videos from the coastline. Not a good idea, because this is when we're going to see those waves coming on shore. And we'll talk about the waves in just a bit, because the forecast looking pretty intense. Here's a close 24-hour view of what this storm is going to look like in terms of the central location as it moves forward. By the time you wake up on Saturday morning, this system will still have just moved just ever so slowly. This is a slow-moving system. It only is moving at 10 kilometers per hour, so it's going to take some time as we progress through the day. But as it moves closer, by the time we go to the noon hour, that's when we're going to really see that intensity really starting to be getting close to the peak amount of power for those of you living in Okinawa and also into Amami. Once we start going into the afternoon and evening hours, that's when we're going to hit the peak intensity, because that's where we're expecting the center of this particular system to be located as we go toward the evening hours. And by the time we're going to the mid-evening hours, around 9 o'clock Saturday night, it will start to move away, but the overnight period is still going to be a very rough period for those of you living there. Now, as we go past that, when we go into Sunday and Monday is when it's going to weaken and take off close toward Korea and then moving into the Sea of Japan. So again, Saturday is the main focal point for this particular system. Now, I mentioned the waves. This particular look at what we're expecting by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're looking at wave heights as high as 5 meters from the center location. But because of some of these peaks of waves taking place, some of them may be cresting as high as 8 meters or 26 feet. This is the reason why you should be staying away from the coastline. And of course, when the weather is deteriorating at that point, you want to be inside anyway. Gusts can go up to 200 kilometers per hour. Now, as we progress through the time period, if it weakens a bit, then the gusts may back up just a bit, but we could see gusts as high as 200 kilometers per hour or 125 mile per hour gusts. Rainfall anywhere up to 150 millimeters or 6 inches of rainfall is possible, and we do have high wave warnings in place. I mentioned during a previous update, a couple of updates ago, that we were expecting either Okinawa or Amami or both to eventually switch over into the high wave warnings situation. You notice that a good portion of Okinawa is now under that red designation of warning when it comes to high waves. Amami has not switched over. Be that as it may, these waves are still going to mean business. You do not want to be anywhere near this location as we go throughout the day Saturday. So focal point for rain over in Naha and Okinawa. Rain and thunderstorms, high of 29 degrees on Saturday. Very intense winds possible from time to time. Sunday, we should see the rain starting to taper off. We will still deal with some rain during the morning hours as that wraparound moisture continues to swirl over these islands. By the time we go into Monday, the system will be gone. Hopefully, we'll see some improvement when it comes to the conditions. Please note once again that you should have already tied down your belongings that are located outside of your homes at this point, because with winds as strong as they are likely to become, these things will be moving around. We don't want them to move around. So tie those things down. And as I've always mentioned during the other updates, please, if you're able to safely do so, please do send in some of those pictures and videos and share them with our Facebook page at Western Pacific Weather. We would be happy to share that with others as we go forward in time. That is the latest update coming from Western Pacific Weather. Thank you so much for tuning in. And on behalf of the team, hope you have a good day wherever you are.